I am Dr. Jesse John, Assistant Professor, Department of Anatomy, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. Today we will discuss the anatomy of the axilla. नमस्ते, हमेशा खुश रहो बिटिया. First we will see the definition of the axilla. Axilla, and we will say armpit also. It is a pyramid shaped space between the upper part of the arm and the side of the chest. And function, it forms an important passage for nerves, blood, and lymph vessels as they travel from the root of the neck to the upper limb. We can see that this is the space, and there are pyramidal shape it has, and this is the axilla, and it has apex, posterior and anterior wall, and medial and lateral wall, and base also. We can see another in picture. The size and shape of the axilla. Axilla region varies with arm abduction. It decreases in size most markedly when the arm is fully abducted. At this point, the contents of the axilla are at most risk of the injury. Now we'll see the boundaries of the axilla. There are boundaries that are four walls and apex and base. And four walls, there are anterior wall, posterior wall, medial wall, and lateral wall. Along with these walls, there is the apex and base also. There are so many pictures, and I tried to illustrate the position of the axilla, and you can see the walls and apex and base also. Apex of the axilla is the upper end of the axilla, and it continues into the root of the neck through the cervicoaxillary canal. Boundaries of the cervicoaxillary canal in front by the clavicle, and the boundary behind by the upper border of the scapula, and boundary that made by medially by the outer border of the first rib. The apex of the axilla is cervicoaxillary canal, the passageway between the neck and the axilla. You can see here cervicoaxillary canal, structures passing through apex, axillary vessels, course of brachial plexus, long thoracic nerves, lymph node afferents. So these are structures that passing through the apex. And base of the axilla, the lower end of the axilla, that is called base of the axilla. The base is formed by the skin stretching between the anterior and posterior wall and boundaries. In front by the anterior axillary fold, this is formed by the lower border of the pectoralis major muscle, and behind it is made by the posterior axillary fold, that is also formed by the tendon of latissimus dorsi and the teres major muscle, and medially by the chest wall. So we can see here in the picture, there is anterior border, posterior border, and medial border, and lateral border. Walls of the axilla are made up of as follows: anterior wall made by the pectoralis major, subclavius, and pectoralis minor muscles, and clavipectoralis fascia. And posterior wall is made by the subscapularis latissimus dorsi and teres major muscles, and it is longer than anterior wall. And medial wall is formed by the upper 4 and 5 ribs and the intercostal spaces covered by the serratus anterior muscles. And the lateral wall, it is formed by the coracobrachialis and biceps muscle in the bicipital group of the humerus. It is also formed by the intertubercular groove of the humerus. Now we can see in axilla, and very clearly we have seen there are boundaries. and that is clearly picturized here, made by the different kind of the muscles and the skin. Now we will see the anterior wall, that is the made by the pectoralis major, subclavius muscle and pectoralis minor muscles. So this is the anterior wall that is formed by these kind of the muscle. Anterior wall is formed by the clavicle, subclavius, clavicle, pectoralis fascia, and pectoralis major and minor muscle, suspensory ligament of the axilla. Posterior wall is formed by the subscapularis muscle, latissimus dorsi muscle, and teres major muscle. Medial wall is formed by the upper 4 and 5 ribs, and the intercostal space is covered by the serratus anterior muscle. Lateral wall also formed by the bicipital groove of the humerus with teres major muscle, latissimus dorsi, and pectoralis major, and the long head of the biceps, short head of the biceps, and coracobrachialis muscles. Now we will see the contents of the axilla. Contents are muscles, axillary artery, axillary vein, brachial plexus, and axillary lymph nodes. So these are the contents that present in the axilla. Main and clinically important contents of the axilla region includes muscles, nerve, vasculature, and lymphatics. Biceps brachii and coracobrachialis, these muscle tendons move through the axilla where they attach to the coracoid process of the scapula. Brachial plexus, a collection of the spinal nerves that form the peripheral nerves of the upper limb. Axillary artery is commonly referred as having three parts, one medial to pectoralis minor, one posterior to pectoralis minor, and one lateral to the pectoralis minor. The medial and posterior parts travel in the axilla. Axillary vein, main vein draining the upper limb. Its two largest tributaries are the cephalic and basilic vein and the axillary lymph nodes. Axilla provides a passageway. The axilla provides a passageway superiorly via the cervicoaxillary canal to the root of the neck, and anteriorly it provides the clavipectoral triangle to the pectoral region. It is bounded by the pectoralis major, deltoid, and clavicle, and the cephalic vein enters the axilla via this triangle, while the medial and lateral pectoral nerve leads inferiorly and laterally into the limb itself, posteriorly via the quadrangular space to the scapular region, and inferiorly and medially along the thoracic wall to the inferiorly placed axioappendicular muscles that are serratus anterior and latissimus dorsi. Now we'll see the clinical pathology. Thoracic outlet syndrome, the apex of the axilla region and opening between the clavicle, first rib and scapula. In the apex, the vessels and nerve may become compressed between the bones. This is the called thoracic outlet syndrome. Common cause of thoracic outlet syndrome are trauma and repetitive action that is commonly happen in the occupation that require lifting of the arm. It often present with pain in the affected limb where the pain is descend on what nerves are affected, and there are the symptoms like tingling and muscle weakness and discoloration. Lymph node biopsy: approximately 75% of the lymph from the breast drain into the axilla lymph node, so can be biopsied if the breast cancer is suspected. If breast cancer is confirmed, the axillary nodes may need to be removed to prevent the cancer spreading. This is known as axillary clearance. During this procedure, the long thoracic nerve may become damaged, resulting in winged scapula. Now you have to assess by yourselves by giving the answer of these two questions. So these are the what are the walls of the axilla, and you have to explain it in a brief. Second question is what are the contents of the axilla, and you have to explain in detail. So these are the questions. I am thinking that you have to understand. Thank you so much.